All right, guys. Well, hey, welcome to another ClickFunnels Design Academy training. I am Chad. For those of you who are joining me from my public Facebook group, thank you so much. I want to just give you, for those of you who are new, just give you a quick little rundown of what ClickFunnels is. ClickFunnels is a software piece of, it's a programming software that you can use to build what we call a sales and marketing funnel. Now, what is a sales and marketing funnel? What a sales and marketing funnel is simply a system that takes a stranger, moves them to a prospect, and then eventually gets them to become a customer. It's the process of which you move a stranger into becoming a customer. And a funnel, if it's composed of a series of email sequences, paid and organic traffic, and a series of web pages that are all pieced together to psychologically take someone and move them from step A to step B in a logical sequence. And so that's what so a ClickFunnels is just the software that you use to build all that and put it all together under one roof and under one house. So when you engage a prospect, they know exactly what to do, how to do, when to do it, and then they eventually can pull out their credit card and give you money. So what I want to do today, and I'm going to be possibly Terry wants to know if I want to do the Dragon Box. Possibly Terry. Let me see if we have any nonprofit ones first, and if we don't, then I'd be happy to do that for you. Okay. So I am looking today, for those of you who are in our Facebook group, I am looking for a funnel that I can do a funnel makeover on. So if you have one, that would be great. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and I am going to open up my ClickFunnels account for you so you can see this. If I can get it to work. And we're going to get into this. Okay. So here is my ClickFunnels screen that you should be able to see on the screen. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to grab a funnel, and I want to show you a couple little tips and tricks, some of which you know, some of which you may not know. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a blank funnel. Where are you at? There we go. I'm going to grab a blank sales funnel right here. Okay, we're going to call this ClickFunnels Design Academy Test 2. I already have one in there. So I'm going to build this. I want to show you a couple little tricks on here. And then if you have okay, Terry, that the Slingbox or the one you were telling me about, the one share funnel? Okay. So let me just show you a couple things there. A couple things I want to show you in this is, first I want to grab a sales page. I want to show you just a couple little things that may help you. So I'm going to grab this template right here, right in the middle, and I'm going to do I'm going to manipulate this a few ways, because I think you would be able to learn some stuff on your, page. Okay, so this template right here, as you look at this, you see a couple things happening, okay? You see how I stretch it, how the background is moving like that, so the picture is going. I want to show you just a couple basic things on here, then I want to show you a couple advanced things, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come into my editor, and I'm going to show you how they did that. If you go to the section, which is the green, you go to the settings up here, and you take the background image. That's just a picture that's there. If you come here, you can set this a couple ways. You can set this parallax. So what parallax is the image is going to stay stagnant in the background, and your entire site is going to scroll over and above it, okay? Or you could do what I call fill 100% width, and what that's going to do is that's going to take your background, and it's going to stay the same width, okay? So it'll fill up the entire spectrum, but it will look proportionate. It'll look proportionate when you scroll. So right now, so it's going from point A to point B, it stays, and then when I zoom, you can see that it'll shrink with me, but there comes a point, because I'm trying to keep the width, there comes a point where you're going to see the bottom of the picture and the bottom of the background begin to disappear. So you see the space under here that becomes white. That's because you told it to stay 100% white. So in other words, what you're telling it is I want to see all the picture, all the time. Okay, I want to see the entire width of the picture all the time. So that's what that background does. This background is, you can tell it then, okay, I don't want parallax, which basically stays there and it scrolls up and down above it. Width says I want to keep the width 100%. This background here is a little weird. This fill 100% width and height. Unless you are using a graphic, not an image, you would never use this one. Now, if you have a graphic, like, that's not an image and, it's just a pattern or a texture or whatever, this is a great one to use. But if it's not a pattern or texture, watch what happens. So when I shrink this, you see what happens with the picture? The picture sort of shrinks and it looks really funky, okay? So you would never use that background with, never use that background with a picture, only with a graphic. Okay, no repeat is you're just going to put the picture in and it's just going to be the size that it is, okay? And it's not going to change. It's just going to be what it is. And then when you scroll, okay, you can see it doesn't move, okay? It just sort of stays there. But unlike parallax, so parallax, the background, the front ground, the text and everything will scroll up and down. The background will stay there and the text and everything will scroll up and down in front of it. When you select that background, it doesn't, everything moves at the same time, the no repeat, okay? The repeat, and you're not gonna use these a lot, okay? What this is gonna do is it's gonna now put multiple pictures on the page, okay? So when you come in here and you repeat this, okay, as you can see, you can scroll, the picture's not moving, but if you go too wide, okay, see what happens? So if I go too wide like this, it actually duplicates the picture. And there's not, once again, unless it's a texture or a background that's seamless, there's not really a whole lot of utilization for that, okay? If you look at this one, the repeat horizontally, what it's gonna do is it's gonna put the picture to the right. Vertically, it'll put the picture to the top. Or let me just show you what this looks like. Okay. So as I preview this, okay, so remember we said, so now you got, because it's repeating the other way, as you stretch it, there's no background on certain portions of it, okay? But as I go, let's see if I can do this with my big screen. But I can't. As I added more content to this, it would add more pictures to the top or bottom. And so that's sort of what the backgrounds do. So what do I recommend? What I recommend is if you want a fancy thing, then you can go with parallax. Okay, most of the time I go, if I've got a big enough image, I'll go with 100% width. But I would say either go with 100% width or go with parallax if you can. The other ones, honestly, in ClickFunnels with a picture, they're not really good. Okay. Now what's fun is to go with 100% width. Like if you can go with 100% width on the header, and then what you can do is you can come down here and you can find another section. So let's say that we were gonna, we want to add another section here. You can add another section here. Actually, we'll just, instead of adding it, I'll just change this one. You can add an image here. And so let's just pick one. Let's just say we're gonna take one of their standard backgrounds here. Let's say that we want I forgot they got rid of all their backgrounds. So let's say we're going to take this one here and we're going to put in the background, okay? So you can see that if you put parallax, I like this this feature here where, I mean, you can do parallax at the top. I have a couple websites where I do parallax at the top section, but what I like is I actually like to do parallax more in the middle, and I'll show you this effect, okay? So if you do just 100% width here, it's going to stick and then you're going to be fine. But then as you scroll down, watch what happens. See this section down here? It's like the whole thing moves, and I love it. Now you can obviously edit that text to be white so it can show up, but I like it where it gives you like that really cool parallax feature. It gives you the really cool parallax feature, and you can really see that. I'm trying to mute you guys. I had to mute you there, Jeff. And it just gives you that parallel feature there, and it just makes it look a little more classy and a little bit more professional. So I wanted to show you backgrounds today. In my opinion, a couple of you have wanted to know what backgrounds are best for ClickFunnels. In my opinion, at the top, if you can use 100% width, great, but just be careful when you scroll, okay, that you don't get this white funky bar right here, okay? If you're not going to get, if the image is big enough and you're not going to get that white bar, then use that. If not, use parallax, and then down here, try to use a parallel effect if you can, a little bit further down, and just give you a really cool look. Okay, so now I want to show you something else on this. I'm going to do a couple things. Don't forget, I'm looking for, if you guys have a funnel for one of your nonprofits that you would like to have me do something on, then just let me know. Steve,
may I jump in with a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is Steve Carey speaking.
Yeah, go ahead, Steve.
So you just showed us backgrounds on the section area, the settings for sections.
Yeah.
My question is for the page settings itself, where you have backgrounds.
Yeah.
And I use a combination of video on the background there. Or sorry, I do an image, and then I do a video, then I do an image on a section. But my question is, there's a setting where you're looking at for background image and also for video.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering what takes precedence if you have something in there in both fields.
Yeah, they both do. So what happens is so like, let me see if I can give you a sample of this. So if I was to go to my YouTube account, I'm going to just grab a video real quick out of my YouTube, and I'll show you how this works, okay? So what happens is the video image, it takes sometimes 5 to 7 seconds for that video to load. And so what you'll do is you'll put an image in there. So when somebody loads your page immediately, the image will show up while the video is loading. And then once the video loads, the video takes over. Okay. So
that is the purpose of having both fields, is just to have an occupier while the video loads.
Correct. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. And so, but let me show you how, for those of you who are curious, let me see if I've got a background video in here. I think I do. I've got a bazillion videos, so I never know which ones I have and which ones I don't. But I'll try to find something for you to see if I can find a little background, show you how this works. If not, I'll just use a regular image here. But oh, I know. Wait a second. I know where they're at. Can you guys?
I originally learned how to do it by looking at your Cardinale page.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good little template. Even if I do say so myself. I can't remember which one. Okay. Well, I'll just throw a basic video back there. Actually, I think I got something on Vimeo. I'll throw a background video on just so you can see it for those of you who want to know, and then we'll move on to the next part of the training. So in that background, the nice thing is with ClickFunnels is you guys have seen this when you go to a website and you just click on the page and you load it. What's really cool is it's easy to see. Now this is a background video here. It looks a little scandalous. I promise you it's not. And let's see if I can just grab this. I don't know. I can't remember if Vimeo works in the background. Sometimes only YouTube works. But so you can go to the video, turn it on, and then it's a YouTube. Of course it is. It's a YouTube URL, and I don't have a YouTube URL. So I'll just grab a video. I have one because I have video on my personal page, but I can't find. We'll just grab this right here. Okay. And then, so what I'm going to do is you paste the YouTube URL here. And then right here, and Steve, this will address your question right here. It says, what do you want to do? It says video image, okay? So what image do you want to use right here, okay? And so you can say video thumbnail if you want, and whatever thumbnail you have set on YouTube, that's what will show up on your page. If not, you can just go to original settings, and it will take whatever image is up here, okay? Can you see that?
Yeah, that answers my question perfectly. I couldn't figure it out by trial and error, so thank you.
Right. So for right now, we'll come here and we'll grab an image, just whichever one. We'll just grab this image right here. Okay, and we'll put it there. And YouTube, we're going to say let's go to original settings. Okay, like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and save it. And then now, in order for it to be shown, you're going to have to come here and you're going to have to take this out, okay, so it doesn't show, and then you're going to have to take your background color and you have to come all the way down so it's transparent, okay? So you can see right away that that image that I put in there as the original setting is when you load the page, you know, it's what shows up first. And then it'll take a few seconds for that video. If it does, it'll take a few seconds for that video. It's a massive video, so it may take a while to load. But in a minute, you can see it's still working. But that video then will jump in and then take over as soon as it loads. At least it's supposed to, if I did it right. Background video's on. It's there. And the action loop. It should all work. Let me go video thumbnail and see if that fixes it. Yeah, that video is just too big for it to play. It's just taking forever, you know. So, but that's how you do it. So I don't know if that helped or not. For the sake of training, I'm not gonna troubleshoot that, but that's exactly how you do it. Okay, right there. So let me put this image back in here so you can see that, and then we're all set. But I want to show you one more thing. Don't forget, if you guys have a funnel or a landing page or something like that, maybe for one of your clients that you would like for me to hack. Let me know. I would be happy. I'd be happy to do that for you. Okay. If you wanted to, I do want to show you this background though, because some of you guys were asking me about that. I know I did this on another training, but let me show you just what it looks like when you put a video in the background. So to put a video, you have to erase it. You have to put your video in. You have to set this to on. Okay, and then you save it. And then the front background, so that was the background. This is the front background. The front background, you've got to make sure that you come here and you, it's transparent, okay? So now you can see the video in the background. And I'm gonna just open that up. I'm gonna save it, and I'm gonna open that up and see if I can get that video to play for you so you can see it. Sometimes when you come in here, I mean, I know I did it right because it's all set. So sometimes you can see it'll go and bam, there's the video and it's playing in the background, okay? And so you have it. What I don't like about this is you don't really have any settings. Like I can't change the size of it. You know, I can't do any of that. This is personally got a what we call a keystone on it, and it's showing there. So you know, so I don't like that. The background videos go automatically. They go to parent. The reason is because any other place on your website that is transparent, it would show the video. So in this case, if I took this off, this image right here, if I took this image off and it would look white, so I could take this and I could just remove the background like that, and then if you'll see, when I come here, that video will actually show all throughout the page, regardless of where you are. So if you come here, it'll take a second to load. Give it a second. Okay, so now it's loading. And now the video is playing, and as I scroll down, you'll see because that's transparent, the video plays there as well. So it'll play any place that you have transparency. So that's a really good feature. Now that I know the video works, I'm stubborn enough just to say I've got to fix this. I got to fix this. Well, never mind. Let's see if that worked. If it didn't work, then I have no idea what I'm talking about. But that's what's supposed to happen. What I just showed you. That's supposed to be on there until the video comes on. Yep, there you go. Did you see that, Steve? Steve, did you see that?
That's perfect. I've been playing around a lot with this, so I just clarified a few things. Okay, perfect.
I want to show you one more thing. And so I'm going to put this time. I'm going to put a navigation in. Okay, so I'm going to come here. I'm going to add new row. Now one column, and I'm going to add navigation to this, and I'm going to show you a couple little tricks on here. Okay, first you notice that the navigation text is blue. Okay, there's a couple ways you can change that. You can go in and change. You can change it on its own, where you come here and you click on it. If I can get it to click, you click on the You click on the settings. You can come here and you can come down here and you can change the link color to white. And and you'll notice that it changes the link color to white. But what if you have other links on your page that you want to change colors, okay? What you can do is you can, like, let's put this, red right now. Okay, what you can do is you can come into your settings, and then you go into your typography, okay? And on your typography, you can change the link colors right here to whatever you want it to be. And what you'll notice is that one did not change because I changed it manually on its own. So what's nice is you can change the links on the entire page. So every link that you have will be white, except for the one that you change manually. It will be whatever you want. Okay, so that's how you change the link colors. I want to put this up, and I want to show you a couple of things on here. First, let's get rid of a lot of padding because I want this to be a header. Okay, so I want this to be all the way. You got to change the padding on the background itself, and then you can come here and you can change the padding a little bit on the header. And we're going to just give that a background color. Let's just say of white right now. Okay. So what you'll see is it's all the way back, but it's not going across. So just check this, make sure it's full page, and then so the background color here you got to make white. White. There we go. Okay. So now you have background all the way. But let's say that I don't like that here. So what I want to do is I want to put it over on the right. Okay. So you just simply click the settings. You go to the advanced tab. And you come here to the align, and you're going to put it to the right. So now it's over to the right where I want it, okay? Now I want to come here, and I'm going to make this, and I'm going to put this features, and then you have pricing, and you have order. And I can change that just simply by putting, like, this is going to be called tab, number 1, or whatever you want it to be called. This one here is called tab number 2, or whatever you want it to be called. This one here is tab number 3, or whatever you want it to be called. This one here is tab number 4, and this one here is tab number 5, okay? And all you can have is 5 links. I'll show you this in a minute. So you may notice that I renamed them, but there's only 3 tabs on here. So to change that, I come here, I go to the settings, I go to my advanced tab, and there's a little download right here, number of links. I can put 2, 3, 4, or 5, okay? So I can say 5, and now there are 5 tabs on there. But what happens if I want more tabs? What happens if I want 10 tabs on the top, okay? The way you do that is you'll come in here. Let me give myself a little margin so I know how to edit that. So you come into your section, and you're going to add, and once again, sometimes ClickFunnels is goofy like this, so you got to save it, get out of it, come back in. I'm going to show you how to add, how you add more. Anybody want to take a guess how you can add more?
Another element, right?
Yeah, we have to add, actually, Tracy asked, can video cause loading issues? Yeah, Tracy, it can. So here's a key to your background video. You want your background video to be no more than 540 DPI, okay? 360, so you have 360, 720, 1080. I mean, you can see how that goes, right? Your TVs. For online, you don't really need, 720 would be max, but 540, you could get away between 360 and 720 if you go to around the 540. Your background video look okay. The lower your resolution on your background video, the faster it loads. Okay, if you have a really big video, it's going to take a long time for that thing to load. So keep the size really, really, really low. Okay. So how do I get 10 tabs? So Kendra says do below. Somebody said, I think it was Steve, said do more elements. The easiest way to do it is you come here, you're going to add a new row, and you're going to add 2 columns. Okay, and we're going to take this first set of tabs right here. We're going to put it here. I'm going to clone it, and I'm going to put another set of tabs right here. So now, as you can see, I'll delete this. As you can see, I have 10. I have 10 on one, but it does not look good at all, right? It just doesn't look good. So a couple things is I can sort of move this over about as close as I can, but now I have 10 tabs, so I can do things to it, but I still got this huge, huge space. So I can do a couple things, okay? One thing I could do is I could take this, I could come in and I could go to settings, and I could make this left. So now they're closer together, and that looks a lot more natural if I want to. If I want them all right, then I can put this right, okay? Right? And then I can take this, I can take my settings on it, okay? I can come down and I can get my CSS ID code. I can go into my settings, custom CSS, and then I can paste that. If I can remember how to do this, I can do colon. I'm going to open a bracket. I'm going to go margin. I think that's right, okay, colon. and I'm going to go 90 pixel, and I'm going to close that. I think that's how you do that. Okay. Maybe it's negative 90. Okay. I'm always hesitant to show you how to do this because it never works the right first time. I always got to mess around with it 100 times. And then I always forget like one thing in my CSS, but margin, what am I doing wrong? Margin right /90 pixels, temporary tab. Okay, one thing. We're gonna save this, and I'm gonna grab a little cheat code. Okay, hold on. And I apologize for those of you who are not accustomed to being on my trainings. Some of you know that I'm on camera about 4 to 5 hours every single day, either in one-on-ones or videoing or whatever. And I have 3 little doggies. And currently I have one little doggie. My little female is doing her little female thing. And it's that time of month when she can have babies. And I have a boy who just recently noticed that. And so he's been crazy the last few days. And so I've got them separate because I have a pit bull and I have a Shih Tzu, and I don't want bullshit babies. So I'm trying to keep them separate. And that was really funny for only one person to laugh, but that's okay. So let me show. I'm gonna grab a piece of code here. I want to show you how to do this. Okay. I think there may be one in here. Let me look. If not, I'll pull one out of my Cardinelli funnel. Thank you, Jamie, for laughing. I really appreciate that. Remind me to give you something for free. You deserve it. And don't forget, I'm still looking for, if you have a funnel that you want me to hack, I got about 10 more minutes and then we're going to get into that. Let me know, okay? And so I'm going to cheat here. I'm going to grab a little piece of code, and then I'm going to I'm going to go back to our funnel. And I'll show you how I would do that, okay? Okay, so if you have the thing on, you want more than one. Jamie said, I really did laugh out loud. That's really good. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Okay. Okay, so, see, look, in CSS, it's the little tricky things that get you. Apparently, you're not supposed to put a colon after that, okay? So I'm just going to take this little piece here, and I'm going to just paste that, okay? And let's see if that worked. Okay, and then what you can do is it didn't work. So what do I know? Maybe it's margin right. Let's try that. So with CSS, you have margin, you have padding. Let's go margin right. Okay, and we went 80. Oh, and that did work. And I'm going to go 100. Okay, I'm going to go 90. Okay, perfect. So as you can see, so a little 90 made those all together. Do you see that? So to show you that it worked, as I hover it, do you see how this number 5 is over in the other tab right now? Okay, so you see the divider right here, and you see the tab 5 is over in the right-hand tab. So I have 2 tab 5s, okay? That's because I took the left one and brought it over, and now they're there. Now, what I want to show you, the reason I want to show you that is I want to show you what you can do with it, okay? So let's say that I want this tab right here. So let's say that this is going to be features. We're going to call this features. So I'm going to go into settings of this section, and I'm going to call this features. I'm going to go into settings. I'm going to go down to the little pound sign, pull this up. I go to the title, and I'm going to call this features, okay? Okay. And then let's say that I want this one. I'm going to call this one, we're going to call this video, okay? So I come down to settings. I'm going to call this video. Okay, and then be sure to hit the update button. I don't know if I did that here. So I didn't do it here. So features, and hit the update button. Okay, and then this one here we're going to call testimony. Okay, just so you can see it. Okay, and update it. And then this one here we're going to call free trial. I'll just call it CTA. Update it, and then the final one, I'm going to call this footer. Pretend there was really cool stuff in that. Okay, we'll call this footer, or we'll call this the contact area, right? Because you put your name and address and all that stuff down there if you're building the funnel, okay? So now what I can do is I can come here, and I can click on my tabs. I go to the settings here, and the tab number 1, I want to go to this features section. So I'm going to just call it features, okay? And then tab number 2, which was, what do we call that, video? Tab number 2, we call video, okay? Okay, tag number 3, we called testimony, right? Okay. Tab number 3 called testimony. Then I think it was CTA, and then I think it was footer. Okay, you'll get the idea. Okay, so what you can do is, if I save this, what you can do now that I've labeled all those sections, I can actually come here. I can go to I can come back here, and I can click on this, and I can tell the features. I can tell as I click on this, I can tell features. What do I want it to do? Okay, and what I can do is I can scroll. And so remember, so the first one, I'm going to find features. I can tell it, if you can see my screen, I'm going to have it scroll to the features. Okay, so I'm going to just click on that. And then video, I can have it scroll to video. Testimonial, I can have it scroll to testimony. CTA, I can have it scroll to CTA. And then footer, I can have it scroll to contact. Okay, if I can get this up here. And it's not going down far enough. Contact, okay? There we go. Okay, so now when I save this, I don't want to see you anymore, people. If I save this, and I preview it. Now, if it works well, okay, when I click on features, it'll go to features, okay? When I click on video, it'll scroll to video. When I go to testimonial, scroll to testimony. When I call to action, I'll scroll all the way there. And then footer will scroll all the way. Well, I must have missed it, but footer will scroll all the way down to the footer, okay? So that's how you put a navigation in, and that's how you get it to scroll wherever that you want it to go. Now, let's say that I'm going to be really tricky. So let's say that I wanted to down here, I wanted to put a little piece of thing here that said, scroll. And you could do this with an image if you wanted to. But let's say that I was going to put this here, and then I wanted to make it white, and I wanted it to be really small, and I wanted it to say scroll home, okay? Or move, or back to top. Okay, let's say that I wanted to do that, and I wanted to just make it really subtle. Now, once again, you could use an arrow, like, okay, you can use an image for this, but you can go scroll back to top, and then I can hit the settings button, okay, right here, and I can go to the link. I can just link this right here, okay? And then what you're going to do is you're going to go scroll dash section, and then you're going to want to put the section number in. So what you can do is you can come here, and you go to section right here, and you can grab your CSS, and you can grab the section ID right here. And then just as you did in these features, when it went, pound scroll dash features, okay, you're just going to put that right here in the, what do you do with it? Where'd it go? Okay, I'm losing my mind. I don't know where my little piece of photo went, but let's say this was the one we were working on, right? Okay, and this said back to the top, okay? Let's say that this was just so back to the top, okay? You could just highlight it, and you could come in here and, oh, guys, somebody's drawing on my screen again. Is SOE back in here? And you could just paste that section in here, okay? And if it works, and I think it will, you may need another little piece of snippet in there, but you should be able to come in here and, okay, why does that say Tom Dooley? Is somebody messing with me right now? Am I the only person that saw me say back to top in here? Somebody talk to me. Do I have a little ClickFunnels demon going on in here? Can somebody see it? Everybody sees that it says back to top, right? Okay. And you're seeing me that when I'm loading this, you can see that I paste that section there, right? Okay. Guys, somebody's messing with me. What's going on? Somebody is messing with me. Who's doing that? Who's got access to my account that's like totally messing with me here? Okay, well, you saw that it went up, okay? So what's happening is the text is going away, but you can see it's like there's a button there that says back to top. You just can't see it. And when I click it, it brings me all the way back to the top, okay? Now, there's a little CSS you can do there to make it scroll slowly to go up, but that's a lesson for another day. Terry says, I have a really basic question. When do you use sections versus rows or column? That's a great question, actually, Terry. That's really good. So let's just pull a website. So, Terry, give me the name of your favorite website, just any website. It can be Coca-Cola or McDonald's, whatever. Just give me the name one.
Do Adobe.
Okay, so if I go to adobe.com, okay, what I want to show you is just look at the basic layout of this page right here. Okay, so if you go across, if you just go to the big things, you have a section. So that white there is a section. This second part right here is a section. And then the bottom is a section, that's a section, that's a section. So they have 1, 2, 3. This is 1, 4, or this it could be 4, 5 if you want to, and 6. So technically they have 6 sections. So sections are the big components, okay? So every website is composed of these big blocks called a section, right? Every one of them. The second thing is now that then we have these columns that go vertical. And if you look at theirs, they have on the top one, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have 7 columns at the top, okay? But really, they only have 1, 2. This is really 1, 3. Here, they have 2. They have 1 on the left, 1 on the right. Okay, in the middle, they have 1, 2, 3. Okay, and at the bottom, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But really, this one could be 4, okay? So as you look at it, every website, every web page on planet Earth is composed of sections and columns, okay? And then within the section is a row. So here you have 3 columns, but you really only have 1 row, okay? You only have 1 row to make this happen. So that's how you want to think about this. You want to think about it: big section, linear column, horizontal row, okay? I'll get to your question in a minute, Kendra. Good question. Okay, so that's how you want to think about it. So when you're designing this, in ClickFunnels, you can hack this if you think about this in terms of section and rows. Okay, you can sort of hack it. So when do you use the question is when do you use sections versus rows or columns? So what you want to do first and foremost is you want to organize your website incredibly well, okay? And so when something goes together, so like at the top, when something goes together, okay, you want to put it in a section so it stands all alone. So I always say that if I can name something, then it just is one thing. So I can name this is the header, or the pre-header actually is what this is, pre-header. This area right here, this big area, this is just the header, okay? It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows in it, but it's just one big section, okay? So the section is like the envelope that holds everything, okay? The columns are just linear, and then the rows are horizontal. And so how many columns is in this section? Only 1. There's only 1 column in this section, okay? But I don't want to put this up in this section right here. 1, because the backgrounds are different, okay? 2, but is because, like, let's say that I wanted to scroll to it, okay? I couldn't click a button and scroll to this if it's all in one section. So the way our minds work, and let's just pick another one. Let's pick NFL.com, okay? The way that our minds work is our minds work linear and horizontal in a section. So in this situation, the pre-header up here is a section. The pre-header is a section. Their advertisement is a section. And then this big area right here is a section. And then this is a section. This is a section. This is a section. And then this, my cleats is a section. This is a section. This is a section. This is a section, etc. Right? And this is one of the endless websites. You can just keep scrolling. It doesn't ever stop. Okay. So you use sections just to simply organize your visual images and to give somebody clean lines. So the clean line here, the clean break, is where the background changes color. This one here, you have two different colors, background changes, very easy, okay? This one here, testimonial, it's its own section. So you just use sections mainly when you have color breaks, page breaks, that type of thing, that you want the eye to be able to decipher from. And then if you want to keep your notes nice and clean, you would use rows, okay? Like this is 3 rows, okay? You're going to use rows when you want to put more than one element in a horizontal line. So if you want 2 elements, and you're going to use 2 columns. If you want 3 elements, you're going to use 3 columns. You want 4, 5, or 6, etc. Okay, so like this one here, this is 2 columns, right? Because I want to put a video and text on it. Okay, if I wanted to put text and video and an image, then I'd have to use 3 columns. Okay, and then the rows, which are the orange ones, the elements, okay, that go horizontal. This is just, you're just going to stack it. Okay, this is just stack it. Like, what do I have to stack? So I got social image stack, I got a header stack, I got subheadline stack, I got another subheadline stack, I got a call to action, and then I got a footer. So I'm just going to use a different element for everything that I want to put in a horizontal line. So I don't know if that helps you or not, but
what's the difference between the yellow boxes and the blue boxes? Like the blue box incorporated everything.
This?
Yeah.
Okay, so the section is the envelope that holds everything in the section. Okay, the blue boxes, which are your columns. Okay, this holds everything within the column. Okay. So the blue box holds everything in the column. So in other words, so like let's say that, and you can only put one column per blue thing. So like this blue one, I can set it for a 1 column, a 2 column, a 3 column, a 4 column, a 5 column. But if I set it for 1 column like it's set now, I can't put 2 images beside each other in a 1 column. So if I want to put images beside each other, I'd have to come here, add a new row, and I'd have to put 2 columns. Okay. And so now in the section, I can like, let's say that I just clone this in the section, I can now have like a button here, like let's say that I wanted to, do two different call to actions, and I got rid of this one, okay, so now I could have like, whatever. But every mini section, so to speak, it's like a mini section, if it's just 1 column, you can only put 1 column stuff in here. If it's 2 columns,
the blue is column, the orange is rows.
So right, the blue is column, the orange is rows. Right.
Gotcha. Okay. That makes
the name, they call the orange the element.
Okay.
It's not really a row; it's really an element. So within this column, what element do you want to put in it? And I can put anything that I want. All these things right here are an element. Okay. Anything that I want. So if I want to put Facebook comments right here, I can put Facebook comments right there. Okay.
Can you do the different backgrounds for each section?
Yeah, so you can come here. Yeah, so you can do the main section. You can change the background here, but you can so like let's say that I'm going to put a background in the. Let's say that I'm going to put a brown background in. Okay, here I can even put a background in the mini section in the blue. I can come here and I can put a background. Let's say that I want to put that. Okay, I can put a background. Oh, come on, let's try that again. I said I wanted to put that. I can even put a background within a background.
So what's the difference between the background in the section and the background in the main settings?
Okay, so this right here, this background here is the background for your entire page. So it's the as far back as you get, because on websites everything's layered, right?
Yeah.
So this is as far back as it gets, this background right here. So the video, if you put a video in like we have currently, the video is all the way in the back and the entire website is built on top of it, okay? So just below the back is a section, okay, And then right in front of the section is the column, and right in front of the column is the element, okay? So like this here, if I want to come here, I can even do a background. You can see here, background. I can even do a background here. So like if I wanted to make this red or whatever, okay, I could. I just got to make sure it's there. So you see I have the big background in the back, which is a video. The section has a background. The column has a background, and the element has a background. Okay, and they're all stacked on top of each other. So
super helpful. Thank you.
The far back is the background. In front of it is the section. In front of it is the column. In front of it is the element. Okay. Candace says, I don't see that you use many videos in your headers. Is there a reason that you mainly use images? Yeah. So in mine, like Candace, like if you were to go to like my personal page, like if you were to go to launchit.online, okay, and you were to come here, what you'll see is I've got a video, I've got an image in the background and then a video, okay? And I use mine just there. I like to use videos just very sporadically, just to add a little bit of spice to it, but I don't want to overwhelm it because videos can take away from what you're doing. So I do use a little bit, but not a ton. The reason why I don't use a ton of videos, and I hardly ever use videos for my clients, the reason that is for is one, because they're very expensive to find a really good one. The second thing is the page load is very difficult. So I very seldom will use a video on a website that I'm driving cold traffic to. The reason is because cold traffic, they'll only give you about I think research says 1.5 to 2 seconds to see something before they lose interest and they click out. And so if it's going to take your page 3 or 4 seconds to load, you've already lost them before your page is going to load it. And so that's why I don't use a ton of video on sales pages, just for that reason. Now I will use it like on a membership site, or if they're already in my funnel, or if I'm driving traffic to a warm audience, they're a lot more generous with their time on your page. So I'm not as worried about that. But if it's going to a cold traffic where they don't know who I am and I got to build their trust within 1 to 3 seconds, the last thing I want them to do in that 1 to 3 seconds is to see a spiral. Okay. So that's why I don't. Dave says, what did I miss? What's happening today? It's Tuesday, big guy. So we always do ClickFunnels Design Academy trainings on Tuesday. Okay. I still don't see in here. Don't forget, I'm willing to hack some of it. If not, I'm just going to teach you more stuff. Okay. You guys want to learn more stuff, or what do you want to do? Who's got a question for me?
Chad, I do. I always have a question.
Go for it.
So when you were working with clients,
yeah,
and you're designing a funnel, do you have a process to map out the funnel process? Do you use like a workflow diagram tool besides ClickFunnels? Because I think theirs is kind of clunky. Do you have a process for that?
Yeah. So no, I don't. I should, but I don't. So what I do, I'll show you if I can grab a notepad here. I'll show you what I do. Okay. When I'm doing a funnel, I'm old fashioned, so I'm pen and piece of paper. Okay. And so what I'll do is I'll grab my daughter's an aspiring artist, so every one of your note pages, if you're ever coaching, they have images all over. So what I'll do is I'll grab a notebook, and I'll try to show this to you. But I grab a notepad like this, right? And what I'll do is I always start, if you've ever seen my sales video trainings, you know that I always start with the easy stuff first, okay? So I always start with the pre-header and I start with the footer first, okay? So I'll put the pre-header up and like, what do I want? Do I want a logo on the left? Do I want, what do I want? So this area right here is the pre-header, okay? And so I'll literally just come here and I'll make a pre-header, okay? Because I've always believed that a blank canvas is the hardest one to draw on. So I'll just come here, and then right away I will just okay, I'll do something like this. Okay, so I don't even see that, but I'll do a pre-header up at the top. I'll make something like that, and then I'll come all the way down at the bottom, and I'm like, okay, what do I want for my footer? Okay, and I'll come here and I'll design what I want, and then I'll put logo, and then. Okay, I'll do something like this, just so I have it on the page. Okay, so I always start with that. Okay, and then what I do is that it's not symmetrical, but then what I do is in the very next thing that I think of it, because the most important piece of the entire sales page is this header right here. Okay, is this area right here. So I try to think of it, this is what I designed first. So once I I'm going to get out of that so I can come back in it. Once I know that I'm going to do what kind of pre-header and what kind of footer I'm going to do, then the next thing I do is I come and I spend the majority of my time right here on this header. Like almost all of my time I will spend on my header. And then what I try to think of, now I've done enough headers to know which ones I like and which ones I don't. But so what I do is I'll come in and I will figure out, okay, what type of header do I want? Do I want a Do I want something like this with some social proof, a big headline on it, a sub-headline, a call to action? Do I want to put a video on it? Do I want to put a video button? I'll just sort of work that in my mind. Now, to get you started on this, okay, a really good way to do this is this way. So if you come here and you were to get rid of this, okay, page right here, let's say we didn't have it, and I was going to build it, okay, you could come here to content or to actions right here, and they have a bunch of pre-built headers right here in ClickFunnels, okay? And so if I was a newbie to this, I would just grab one. So I'd grab that one right there, and bam, I'd throw it in, and it's got my header already built for me. So all I got to do is come in here and just change the picture. So I could come in here to the background URL. Kathy, I'll get to your question here in just a minute, okay? And I can just grab a picture and pop it in, and lo and behold, just like that, I've got a pretty decent looking header, okay? So the first thing I do is I do the pre-header and the footer, and then I come in and I spend all my time on this header. What do I want this header to do? And then what I'll do is I will build from it. Now, I know that you're never going to put two sections back to back with the same color, okay? So then what I'll do is I'll come in here, okay? And then over on the right-hand side, I bullet point, what do I want in the funnel? So I know I've got to have a header because everybody has a header. I know I have to have a pre-header because everybody has one. I know I have to have a footer because I got to stay compliant with Facebook. So then I'll come over here and I'll ask, what do I want? Okay, so Steve, jump on the call with me, okay? Okay, so let's say we're building you a funnel and you just make this stuff up, okay? Do you want testimonies on the funnel?
Yep,
okay.
Of course.
Give me a couple other things that you want in the funnel.
Okay, so you have testimonials. You may want to have.
Well, I'm just asking you. What do you want?
Oh, got it. Let me get that for you. So I want 3 columns to show the services I offer.
Okay.
So one row with 3 columns. So
okay.
I have product A, product B, product C.
Yep.
And then I'll have a description area for that as well below it.
Okay. What other big ones? What other big things do you want in here? Do you have any testimonial videos?
Not yet.
Okay. Do you have a video to show off your product?
Not yet.
Okay. So what I do is I have a survey. In fact, Candor can make this available to you if you want it. I have a survey that I give to folks that help them sort of flush some of this stuff out. And then what I'll do is I'll go in and I'll just look at what they want. So, okay, they got some testimonials, they got some services. Then I know that they probably need like a product highlight area. And then let's say that they need whatever, it doesn't matter. So then what I'll do is I'll say, okay, so this is my testimony area right here. Okay, so I'll come in. So I know that I need a testimony. So I'll come in and I'll just literally what we call wireframe. I'll just hack the heck out of it. I'll come in and say, okay, this is what I want the header to look like. Okay, he said he wants three services with a header and stuff. So I got that. Okay, so I don't really need this because we sort of already got that up here. So I'll ditch that, right here. Okay, and then, I'll say, okay, well, they need a testimonial. Good, that's a testimonial. And then what else? Okay, so he said that, he needs a product description. So I'll go to content. What do they have in here? Oh, you know what? I bet he's got a really cool quote. So I'll put that section right there in. Okay, great. So now he's got a quote. So I'll come in here. And what I'll do is I just literally start hacking it until I get it the way that I want. And that's just a wireframe. And then I'm anal. And I come in here and I start picking the heck out of it. Let me show you some real examples. Okay, so if you were to come in here and we were to look at some of my personal examples, okay, and you were to go to like for instance, I'll show you the one I'm working on right now, okay? No laughing because it's a work in progress, okay? But I'm working on my personal one right now, okay? And it's really rough. But so what I did for mine was I knew that I wanted some so where have I been written up at? Where have I spoken at? Where have I been featured at? So I knew I wanted some social proof here. I knew that I wanted some let's work together. And these are all the same. I know they're going to change. So I knew I wanted a big header that product, that isolated what I want. And then I knew I wanted to be able to outline the give method. So I started doing that. And I knew that I wanted these four sections. That's why I always do the pre-header, because the pre-header makes me think about what sections do I want, and I can just put them in right here. So I know that I want those sections. So I'll come in and just outline something like that. If I go to let's take I'm working on this one right now. Okay, so like Todd's, okay, this is one of my clients here. So Todd Stoudemire. Okay, so you come here with Todd, and I have no idea what's going on with that. I'll have to fix that. If you go in with Todd, I knew he's got this little saying that he wanted all the way at the top of his, but I knew that with his academy that he's got a feature video, right? And so we created a little feature video here. He wanted to speak a little bit, but I didn't want it to be overwhelming. And so I knew that I wanted everybody in the upper section. Okay, if they never scrolled down, they could get everything they wanted right here. Okay, so I sort of put that in my mind. So I said, okay, I need a really killer headline right here that's going to just sort of draw them in, tell them what it is, tell them when the enrollment opens, put a scarcity countdown on, highlight what they get, put a little phrase on here top, and hit the row button. So this could be a website a funnel in and of itself. Well, it doesn't. You know, it goes on. And so I knew here that he's got this little phrase that he always uses because everybody thinks he's a baseball player, and that's why he's so successful. And he wanted to debunk that myth, so we put that in here. And then this is a story. So this is, if you were to go through the 12-step, this is the problem area right here. Okay, this is the problem that everybody has. And so we began to write his story out as far as what the problem is. Okay, and you may notice that when I write this, I try to do it in a way where your eye can follow it. And so if nobody ever reads any of your text, any of your copy, they should still get the gist of it. So for instance, we'll just read this headline. Okay, anything you want in life, you have to go get it. Nothing you owe. Nobody owes you anything. Let's be honest, if you aren't successful, there's only one person to blame. So that one there, I knew in this section, I wanted them to basically incriminate themselves. So in other words, we wanted them to say, yep, that's me. So they read on. So for a long time, people procrastinated. If you want to achieve major league success, you need a different approach, but it doesn't have to be that way. Well, what way? So then I'll get them to read this here. And then you can go down, and then this section here, this is what we call the hero section, where we talk about the hero, okay? And you can do this any number of ways, but I just knew that I wanted to highlight his things. This one right here, you may notice it's opposite of this. So this one, I got a picture on the right, but it's the same exact thing, okay? Just a little smaller text, okay? And I got his picture on the left, and so I knew that I wanted to put some of this stuff in here. I just didn't know what the way it looked like, and then I wanted to outline what he did. I wanted a testimony, once again, I wanted Todd to be highlighted. And so what I do is I just come in here and I just start penciling out, and then I just go in and I chunk the areas in, and then I probably spend like this one here. You may notice the pricing is missing because he just changed his prices, but I probably spent on this funnel 70 hours, something like that. But it probably took me about 2 hours to get it to where it was functional. So I probably wireframed it in 2 hours to where, like, honestly, if he had to go to battle, he could have gone to battle with what I had in 2 hours. But to get it polished, it probably took me 70, 80 hours to polish it. Like this was over several weeks, right? Because this changed like 14 times, and then all this stuff changed. But see, I did all that. So like this is all custom graphics. Right. So I don't always do custom graphics for every client. It's all custom. Okay. So I don't do that for every one of my clients, but like I designed his logo and I, did everything. So because of that, it takes a long time, to make this stuff work. And so what I would tell you is just what do you want? Like, and then just hack it in there. And then just go to town. And then the way I get the ideas, and I think I've told you this before, I'll tell you again. So the way I get the ideas is I go to Pinterest, okay? And I'll show you, like, for instance, so like on one of my funnels, like if you were to go to No Fugly Funnels /Steal, okay? Like on Rick's, okay? On his funnel, as you're coming down here, like I got this idea from Pinterest. I got this site. This is what I want to show you right here. So what I did was I just went to Pinterest and just did like, website testimony boxes. Okay. I just Googled it. I just put that right in Pinterest. And then I just started looking at stuff like, what did I like? And here's the one that I found right here. Okay. I'm like, oh, I really like that. And this is the one that I really liked right here. And so I just was able to I was able to take this inspiration and bring it directly into his funnel. Okay. And then once you get it in there and you start messing around with it, then I'm like, oh, I can do some other things with it. But that takes a lot of time. It's not quick and easy. But once again, I hacked that. This is actually Russell Brunson's. Have you guys ever seen this? Have you ever seen Russell Brunson's funnel, his book funnel? So this is Russell Brunson's book funnel. I'll show you what it used to look like, and then I'll show you what I did to it. So if you go to funnels, and you go to browse funnels, shared funnels, and do I have a marketplace tab? Yeah, marketplace. Okay, so this is what it used to look like right here. It used to just be very simple. This is the funnel without a whole lot of doctoring to it. Okay. So this is what the funnel used to look like. Okay. And then this is what it looks like now. You know, but it's the same premise. Just this I did in 20 minutes or 30 minutes. Okay. And this I did in 20 hours. Right. So you can spend a lot of time on it and just literally perfecting it. And so I go to Pinterest. Pinterest is my inspiration, or I go to themeforest.net. Okay, and I'll just find something. So like, I literally will just click one. I'll just click a theme, and I'll do a live preview. Okay, and so let's pick one. Are these going to be any good? I don't like that one. So let's go to. Nonprofit. So let's say that, come on. So let's say that in the nonprofit theme here, come on, baby, load. Got to close some of the stuff. Olga says, Chad, how long did it take you for you to master the funnel from the day you bought it, 4 days after ClickFunnels launched to you said, that's it, I nailed it in roughly how many hours? Hopefully it was not 10,000. Olga, I don't know if I'm there yet. I don't know if I would say that I've mastered it yet. I would say I got a long way to go. And I don't know what's happening with my internet. Can you guys see me? You can see me? Okay. So I don't know what's happening with my internet, but I want to show you how I find stuff. Okay, so let's do it again. So let's go to, let's just pull one of these up. Let's just go nonprofit again. Okay, and let's just pull one. Let's just go. So once again, I have no idea what these look like, but I'll just do a live preview. Okay, so I'll just pull one up, and it doesn't have to have anything to do with what I'm doing, literally. Okay, nothing. It has nothing to do with what I'm doing. But I try to forget the picture and forget the content. But boy, I really love how this looks. Like I love the little text followed by the big text. Okay, so I can go into Google Font and find a little text, and find the same text that has a hairline and has a black. Okay, that's all that is. So you find a text that has a hairline and has a black. Okay, and you can put that right in. And so I'll find it, and then like what I'll say is like that right there. I'll be like, oh man, I really like that. So I'll like this right here. So if I like it, what I'll do is I'll take a picture of it. Okay, so I'll come here and I'll screenshot it. I'm giving you guys all my tricks. I'll screenshot it, and then I'll come in here and I will go right to this right here. Okay, I'll get this right here, and then I'll put it, I'll pop it in, okay? So what I'll do is I'll grab that image, okay, and I'll just drag it in, okay? Then I'll show you how I do it. And people laugh, but this is literally how I build and how I design, okay? Come on. Have I told you guys that I have patience for people, but I don't have patience for technology? Steve says, I use Chrome extension called What Font that tells you, yeah, that's a good one too. I actually have that. I actually have that one. It's right there. I have that What Font. The only thing I don't like it is if it doesn't know it defaults to Helvetica. So I don't like that because it's like, oh, every font's got Helvetica? What's going on with that? And then of course, you never know when ClickFunnels is being goofy, but so what I'll do is I'll just come in here and I'll put that image in, okay, so I can see it, right? Okay, and then once again, I'll take this and I'll go 100% width, so it'll fit the area that I want it to. So now it's in there, right? So just like it was in the other one. And then what I'll do is I'll just come in and I'll hack it. I'll clone it, okay? And I'll figure this out. So what I would do is okay, what I know is that's 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. So I would come in here and I would put, 4 columns right here. And then I would build the left, and then because those are the easiest, I'd put the picture in, and then I'd figure out how to, with CSS code, I'd figure out how to take the 2 columns and make them touch each other, okay? So they look just like that. So that's how I would do it. And like I was telling the group that I was on with earlier, is if you can figure stuff like this out as a designer, you didn't design this, somebody else designed it, but if you can figure out how to do that in ClickFunnels, you'll become a top 30 designer, because nobody thinks about putting the energy and the effort into doing something like that. But if this was on my funnel, okay, it would just make a world of difference, a huge difference. And what I tell people is if you just can't figure it out, okay, then bring it into like Photoshop or Canva or something and do it. And then just, let's say that I designed this right here. I designed this right here in Photoshop or whatever. You can just come here and you could do it this way. You could just come here and you could add an image, and you could design that in Photoshop, and then just do it like this. Okay, now this is the cheating way. This is how I used to do it when I first started, because I couldn't figure out ClickFunnels enough to make it all work. So I used to design it in Photoshop and drag it in, just use a picture. That's how I started. But now I know how to make it all work, and so I just make it work. Okay. Okay. So, but you can just come here and throw a picture in, just like that. Okay. And if you throw a picture in and throw a white background on it, come on. But you get the idea. This will go up now. Okay. But you can see the things that you can do. I'm not going to mess around with it, but you understand that you can make that happen. So that's how I started. So I designed on a paper. Okay, I write down all the elements on the right, and then I just come here and I will draw out. Okay, I'll literally draw an image, like a video, and then I'll put a header right here, and then I'll put bullets. And I'm like, okay, that's that section and this section. Okay, maybe I want something big here, or like a little thing here. Okay, that's that section. Okay, this section here, maybe I want like, something like this. So I'll just draw it out until it looks decent on paper. Then I'll bring it in, I'll wireframe it on ClickFunnels, and then I'll go polish it to death. And if I can't figure anything out, I go to Pinterest and I Google something until I find something that I love. If I can't find it on Pinterest, then I go to ThemeForest and I'll just find a theme that I love. And if I can't do that, then I'll show you one more trick, okay? And you can't tell anybody this one. So I'm glad we're not recording. We are recording. Okay. What I'll do is I'll go to lead pages, which is ClickFunnels competitors. And then I will say, I'll like preview the template like this. I'll find something I like. Okay. Like, dude, I like that. Like this right here. I actually used this exact one for one of my clients. Okay. I'll come in here and preview it. I'll screenshot the thing, pull it into ClickFunnels. I'll go in and hack it. Okay. Worst comes to worst, I'll go to marketplace.clickfunnels.com. My favorite designer here is Blake Newber, which is saying a lot because I'm in here. Okay, but I'll come in here to Blake. Okay, you can search it, right? Yeah, I'll just put Blake's name in. So search. Oh, come on, Blake. How do you not put your name in your search engine, big guy? Well, here's how you can tell Blake. Blake owns the Blake's All Move. Okay, Blake owns the ClickFunnels marketplace. Like he owns it. So like that's Alex. Blake, where you at, big guy? Blake. The way you find his are if you were to add a new funnel. I'll show you how you find Blake's. So if you were to add a new funnel. Right here. Oh, come on. Funnel, build funnel. That's what I'm looking for. Funnel, build funnel. That's awesome, Steve. I just read your stuff. And then if you want to come here, let's say that you want to build a whatever, a reverse, I mean, I don't know, just pick one, auto webinar funnel. You just select this. And then here, these are the ugly free ones over here. And then down here, these are the paid ones. And the ones that go like crazy, guess whose they are? Those are Blake's. So Blake has, and Russell picks these directly. He's got, so out of the 8 that Russell recommends, Blake has 6 of them. Okay, so Blake does all this crazy stuff, okay? And so, you know, you can pick this. So like, let's say that you want to use, you know, this one right here. So what I do is I'll click on it and I'll look at it and I'll scroll down and there's the page right there, right? Okay. And I look and see what he did. I'm like, dude, I love this right here, okay? And I'll go and I'll hack it. I'll do it. Or why? I really love the way he does his video testimonials, okay? So I use his video testimonial idea or whatever, and I just go in and hack it. Now, if you don't know how to do this stuff, then pay the $147 and buy it, okay? And then you have it, and then you can clone when you have it in there. Now, you can't share this funnel, but once you have it in there, you can clone, you can save every section and then just recreate it on its own blank page, and then you can do whatever you want with it. And I do that all the time. And so, yeah, so I would say buy a guy like Blake's funnel and use his pro stuff. Like, his stuff is so good. And the thing with Blake too is his CSS in here is amazing. He writes all his own custom CSS, and like, see how this timer is right here? You can't get a timer like that anywhere. It looks like you can, but his is so tight and awesome, and you can't get that anywhere. That's all custom to him. What he takes the ClickFunnels timer, and then he puts all the CSS in it to make it do what you want it to do. So this is what I do, okay? And I'll go and I research and I study and I find and I hack and if I can't do it, then I'll start with a blank slate. But if I start with a blank slate, it'll probably be the best thing I've ever done, but it will take me forever. Okay. Yeah. Any other questions? Tracy, I'm not sure what Chad uses, but I use this PSD covers. Oh, okay. Tracy, you asked a question about how to build things. What I do is I go back to, you know, that theme forest. They have one called, if you go to graphicriver.net, okay, you can just simply put like book mockup, okay, in here. Colt, my dog, okay, and then you can just like look at it right here. And it'll show you all the different types of mockups that they have, okay? And it's $5. I just buy it. You get all those mockups. It brings it right into Photoshop. You throw your graphics and everything on it, and it'll just spit them right out as images. So that's how I do my mockups and things like that. I used to create them from scratch before I knew that they had stuff like this. Did I miss anybody's questions? Okay, let me look in the ClickFunnels page. No more questions here. So anything else you guys want to learn? You guys want me to show you some more stuff, or are you done?
Hey, Chad, can you remind us how to save a section in a page to your own private sections? So when you click on the right to add a section, you can pull something you've saved before.
Absolutely. In fact, you can save sections and rows now, which is really cool, okay? So let's say that let's go back to our test funnel, okay? And you look here. So let's say that we really like this header right here, okay? We really like that, okay? Now, when you save this, it saves all of the elements, but it will not save your background all the time. Sometimes it does, but sometimes it doesn't. So what you do is you go to the edit page. Kathy, can you paste your question again so it's fresh in the, so I don't have to scroll up and find it, but I would be happy to answer your question. What you do is you go to the and just, you have an icon, don't click that, that's to copy, and then you have this little save button right here. You just click the save button and you'll get to save it for whatever that you want. So, you know, let's say that I'm gonna say this is Steve Carey's, you know, question, okay? Let's say that I do that, I can save that, okay? And what it'll do is that will save the entire section. But let's say that, boy, I really love this area right in here, this area here, I just wanna save that. I can just hit that save button right there, and now it'll save it as a row, and I'll save that as Steve Carey's question 2. Okay, I can save that here. Okay, and then now what happens, but you have to get out. Now, once you do that, you save it, then this is the goofy thing about ClickFunnels. You actually have to get out, and you have to come right back in, and it sort of refreshes it, okay? Kathy, would you mind pasting your question, or somebody find Kathy's question for me and paste it, and I'll answer it real quick. And then, so then what you do is you just go to add a new section, and then you go to My Sections right here, and everything that you saved, like see all these, I've got a million of them. Everything that you saved is right here. You can click the button, and you can just pop it right back in. Okay. If you want to just, let's say that you want to just do the row. Let's say that you like that row. I can add a new row. I go to My Rows, Steve's Query Question 2, and voila, it's there. Now this is white because it's, the text is white, so you can't really see it, but I'll show you that it's there. You can see that information is there. Okay.
Hey, Chad, I've had an issue with when I'm saving a column sometimes. It doesn't save like the background or if you put a border on a column.
Yeah.
Is there a way around that?
No, it's just a glitch in ClickFunnels because they got to fix some of that stuff, right? So the problem with ClickFunnels is they do everything fast. So they don't vet anything, and that's part of the thing. It's better done than perfect. Just do it. You can fix it on the fly. So some of that is some glitches that they have in there that you can't do it. One thing that I learned is the one thing that I know about ClickFunnels, and you'll see that every once in a while you'll go to add something and then it'll all be solid white on the front. So what I learned is about every 10, 15 minutes, if you just close ClickFunnels down and then you open it back up, it just sort of refreshes it all. And then it'll save. So if I'm going to before, if I've been working for a long time and I want to save like this entire section, I'll just save it. I'll get out of here. Okay. I'll get out of here like this, and I'll literally get out of it. Like I'll literally close it down and then I'll go back into it. Okay. And it just sort of refreshes it. And what I learned is when it's fresh, more times than not, it just does it. But there's a couple things that you have to know. Google Chrome is the best browser for ClickFunnels, but see all these little add-ons that I have right here? Every one of these add-ons messes around with it. If you have Grammarly, it's a mess. In fact, they've created some CSS code to get rid of it. But some of like this font one here, you have to turn all these off, to be honest with you, if you don't want any glitches. Okay, if you don't want any glitches. So the easiest way to do it sometimes is to open up an incognito window. So when you open up an incognito window, you'll notice that those add-ons, with the exception of the screen thing, doesn't come with it. And so sometimes that's an easy way to do it. Kathy says, does it speed up the loading time if you edit the video transparency before uploading it to ClickFunnels? And should the length of the sales page be proportionate to the price of the offer? Okay, let's answer your first question first. Actually, it does the opposite, Kathy. When you put the transparency in your video, it actually is another element that your video's got to render, and it makes your video a bit larger, not smaller. So it's easier to make the transparency of the video in ClickFunnels. Now, what you can do to speed it up in your editing is that you can lower the size of the video, and you can compress the video in the edit process to make it a much smaller file, and it will really help you. But transparency, if that's all you're going to do is make it transparent before you come on, it'll add another layer and it'll actually make it bigger. So what you'd have to do for that, if you want to do it all, is you could lower the file size, maybe go from like 1080i to like 540, so you're going to cut that in half. I'd even recommend all the way down to 360. You can bring that down. You can you can put the transparency in it like you're talking about, and you can compress the heck out of it when you save it to make it as small of a file as you can. And then it would do all of those things at once and make it a small file. But if all you're going to do is add the transparency to it, that's going to act like a filter, and it's going to make a bigger file, not a smaller file. So what you would do is you would export it, so you would save the video with the transparency in it, save the video, and then bring that saved video back into your editor, compress it, and then export it. And then because it doesn't have that transparency step in it, it won't make it large. It'll stay small. So I don't know if that helps you or not, but I hope it does. Your second question is, should the length of the sales page be proportionate to the price of the offer? No. The length of the sales page is depending on what you want to do with the sales page. So you may remember we have the 11-step, now the 12-step strategic operation process. If you are using a long-form sales page, then you want to make sure that all 12 of those steps, the person, the problem, the pain, the personal, the promise, the process, the product, I already forgot, the proof, the perceived value, the price, the perks, and the purchase tab. You want to make sure all those 12 things are checked off on your long form sales page if you're doing a long form sales page. So you can if you did a video, then there's not really a need to do a long form sales page because all that content is in the video. So what I would tell you is determine the length of your page based on what you're doing. So if all you're doing is a tripwire, or excuse me, is a landing page for an opt-in, make that quick, simple, short. Okay, there's no money and the cost of conversion is really low, just really quick. But let's say that you're doing an online course. Okay, well, you want to give them enough information that they can make an educated decision to purchase your product. And it doesn't matter whether that's $97 or whether that's $9,997, give them enough information. What you want to put in your sales page to increase the cost of your sales page is you want to put what we call risk reversals. What makes it go up in value is if you've done a really good job. I don't know if you remember this training the other day, but I did this training here, okay? What makes it go up is if you have a rare product, okay, that's going to produce incredible value and they're going to have a really good ROI on the end, then you can charge a lot of money, okay? And then what you'll do is you'll put your risk reversals in, so your 30-day, 60-day, 90-day money-back guarantees, or your additional coaching, or your 1-year support, or whatever your risk reversals are. You make sure that your process along with your risk reversals are aligned, and that's what shoots that price up. It has nothing to do with the length of your page. In fact, I would tell you that sometimes the length of your page can hurt you because it's actually possible to give them too much information where you just sort of lose interest and you don't buy, okay? Or what I find is when you give people a lot of information, sometimes it actually triggers questions in their mind that they did not have before, and they want to go ask the question. Now they want to talk with somebody or text somebody before that. So one moment, I'm going to shut that dog up. One moment. You are noisy. You are noisy. Not you. I apologize about that, but I couldn't take the barking any longer. Terry says dead dog. Not that one, the other one. Now the other one's going to get going because I left him outside. Did I miss any questions? Chad, 2 questions. First, is it easier to make the video? Oh, I see. That's the same question. Okay. Kathy said, thank you very much. Terry says, just let him play for a bit. I don't have that kind of patience, Terry. Okay. Any other questions, guys? Okay, so I just wanted to show you guys how to do the navigation, how to get that thing to scroll. I think we figured that out. I wanted to show you how to tag a particular section, so you knew how to get to it. We learned how to save videos today. Yes, Kendra. And Kendra, you actually asked me a question earlier, and I don't think I answered it, so I apologize. So yeah,
you did. I just have another question. So on where the title is for the page,
yeah,
under the settings, like the SEO metadata, do you always create a new image that goes in that image holder that's not, I guess, like the header image? Is it different than that?
Yeah. So the header image is obviously big. So the image that let me show you the question she's asking. Okay. So if you come here to the edit page right here, on this main page, if you come here, now look, see, now that dog is getting going. If you come here and you use this SEO metadata tag, you click here. When you come here, it's going to let you put an image in it. Okay. What I want to show you, hold on, I'm going to let that dog in too. One moment. I know. That's what I was trying to tell you. You can't be free with the dog. No. She's good. There you go. No, baby. Play outside. Stop barking. Enjoy. Okay. Goodness gracious. Okay, so what you'll notice is when you go to save this image, see right here where it says SEO preview, okay? This width that you see in the box right here is about the size of the width that you're going to have in like Facebook or YouTube or wherever it's going to show that preview. So what you want is if I come here and I put the header image, so like here's a header image right here. See how teeny it is, okay? And you can hardly see it, okay? So what you want to do is you want to use a square image. Okay, like this. You want it to be a square image. And see how much bigger it is, and you can see it, and it makes sense. So I would always recommend for your SEO image, make sure it's a solid square, okay? And it just shows up better as opposed to something that's rectangle, because rectangle is going to shrink it a lot. So that's what I recommend. Does that help you?
Oh, tremendously. Thank you.
You're welcome. What other questions do you guys have? Good questions. I love these questions. Really good ones. Oh, Kathy, yeah, I hate scrolling. That's crazy. Steve says, for those who are interested in examples, okay, there's the website. Did I miss any questions, guys? I'm scrolling up to see if I did, and I apologize that if I did. If I did, just jump online and ask me. I'll answer any question. And there's nothing too silly or too simple or too complicated. We'll tackle it. You got me for a few more minutes, so if you need me.
Chad, I've got one more, but I don't want to dominate it. So
well, nobody else is asking. So, well, hold on. I got another message. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so back to like when you're working with a client, and I'm talking about the whole funnel, not a single page like a sales page, but the entire funnel flow.
Yeah.
Do you have a process for mapping out the funnel flow? Like, I don't know if you can see this, but I start with a sales page, and then kind of do arrows and all sorts of stuff like that.
Yeah.
Do you just use pen and paper to do it, or do you have a way to do that? And this is for the client that we're working with right now, Stronger Mommy.
Mm-hmm.
He's got some funnels already developed, but one of the ways we can improve it is it's really helpful to show visual stuff to offer suggestions.
So there's a software. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I think it's called Funnel Flow.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll show you a couple tricks, okay? I think it's called Funnel Flow. So Smart Draw. You can do this one right here where you can come in and you can find the pieces, okay? And you can actually draw it out. I've never used that one before. I've heard about it, but that's not what I'm looking for. Okay, Diagramics. That it right there?
Yeah, and I've looked at a number of these. I just wonder if there is one that you have, if there's a model or method that you use that.
Yeah, I don't use that.
To be fast and successful.
No, so there's a couple tricks. In fact, I've wanted to create something like a drag and drop. Okay, and I even talked with my CSS designer to see if he could help me with that. I wanted to where you take all the pieces. Like you take Russell's cookbook and you got those images for his cookbook. I wanted to load all those images on the left-hand side. And then, let's say that you need emails, you drag the email. And then if you need, a landing page, you just drag all the stuff and you can connect with arrows. So that's what Infusionsoft does. Now, what I do is I'm sitting here looking on my screen to see if I can show you one. What I do is I use, I just use a whiteboard. I'm not fancy. You'll learn that about me. I'm efficient, but I'm not fancy. How can I show you this? Okay. So like this was one of my clients here. I'll show you. So share screen right here. So I use stuff like this, right? So like, I'm just like, this is a funnel for like, I have a company called Corello. They do skincare, hair care, that type of thing. And I wanted to design something like that for them. So I just do it like this. So like, you start with cold traffic and then you're going to move to your sales page and then, you have an exit pop on it. And then from the sales page, you do a 1-time offer, 2-time offer, 3-time offer, order confirmation. Guess what I forgot in here? I forgot the order form. And so then I had to go back and I had to highlight it all, copy it, move it over, and then put the order form. So it's a pain in the neck. Okay, but it's visual so people can see it, so it's really helpful. And what I learned is when it's clean like this, it's great. So with a client though, I use my Apple Pad, my iPad, and my Apple Pen, and I'll just sketch it out with them right online. and then I'll take it from that ugly sketch and I'll move it into something like this. And I actually, you may laugh at this, I actually use, ready? I'll show you. I use this program right here called Zoom and my whiteboard, and I built this right here. Okay, right? Like, so I do a Facebook, and then I, do an arrow, So I build it all right here in Zoom, because I like their whiteboard, and then because I can move it and do whatever. And so I just do it right here because I'm not about to pay money. I'm a tightwad, so I'm not going to go pay money for something else that I don't need. So I just do it right here. I just do it right here in Zoom. That's what I use. But there are some really good ones. There's one called Funnel Flow or Funnel something. I can't think of it. It was a brand new software that's on the market. That was exactly what I wanted to do. That's why I stopped Anshul from pursuing that, because, I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. So I didn't want to compete with anybody. But is that my hint? Did you guys hear that? The beautiful, soft elevator music. SOE, I think you had a question. So if we want a page that includes a form, irrespective of the design, it has to be a form page. For example, maybe I want a form in the first page. It can't be an opt-in, but a form page. SOE, are you referring to an order form? Can you answer that question? Are you an order form or a form that people will fill out just so you can gather information? Dave says he uses Funnel Graffiti. Dave, do they have that automated yet, or is that just still like the stickers and the little 3x5 things that they used to sell?
Yeah, as far as I know, it's not automated. It's just still the stickers.
Yeah.
And then I usually just stick them on my whiteboard, and then when I'm happy, I just take a photo and use that.
Yeah, so that's where I got the idea when I got the Funnel Graffiti. I gave that to Anshul and said, hey, put this online for me and use a drag or drop. Right. So, SOE, if you can answer my question, that would be great. Also, can you explain what the whole SendGrid's up? Go ahead.
It's like whatever page I want. If I want an order form to be on the opt-in page, like the first page, so does it have to be an order form? Because I tried putting in the fields in there, but it didn't work.
You gotta, if you're gonna take any type of money, you have to build that on an order form page. And let me show you a little trick on that. Okay, let me share my screen with you again, and I'll show you a little trick that you can do that can help you. But let me share this with you. Okay, so if you're in ClickFunnels, and so let's say that you wanted to add like an opt-in, but you wanted them to buy something on your opt-in. Okay, so you can say opt-in, and then you can put in parentheses order form. Okay, so you know what it is. Cole, stop. So you know what it is. You can put that here, and then when you come to build it, I don't know why this is so slow. Okay, so what you would do, SOE, is you would come here, you're going to come down to your order form page, right, like this, and then you're going to just select any of them. It doesn't matter which one. So like, let's just say we're going to select this right here, okay? And what you can do when you come here is you can edit the page. You can literally get rid of it. Okay, so you can delete it. So all this stuff just goes away. Okay. Like this. So you can start with a blank. Now the thing is the content in the background is still an order form, right? So all the CSS and everything in it is order form. Then what you can do is you can come in here and you can go to like actions, right? And you can still build an opt-in form just like that, right? But let's say that here you wanted to put an order form like right here. You could come here and you could build like your order form. So see how everything is here? You could put like, whatever. So like order select. Okay, actually that's not the one you would use. But you could put like your input forms. Okay, actually let's just make this a 2-column here. So you could put your input here. Okay, so you can gather all the data that you want right here, right? And so you'd come here and you'd build out your entire order form, just like you would have to do it from scratch, or you could just use like something simple like this, like a 2-step order form. Okay, you can just build something like this. And then what you can do is you can come here and you can hide this. Okay, down here, you can hit the hide button like this. Okay, and then you can save it. Okay. And then here on this action, you could set the action and you could put here, you could put show hide. Okay. And what am I going to show? So when I click that, I'm going to show, and then you find that order form that you built. Okay. And the way that you find that, I showed them earlier here, but the way you find that order form that you just hid is right here. You click on this and then you can come down here and you can change the name of it to order so you can find it and then update it. Okay. And then you can go to, you can click here and you can put show, and then there's the order right here. You show and you save it, save it, and then when you preview it, okay, it looks like this, and then when you click that button, your order form shows up. Okay, so you can do something like that, so it'll look like an opt-in page, but it really is an order form page, and you can do all kinds of things, and you can see how you can use that trick for like videos or whatever, or you could just have a very simple, going back to Kathy's thing earlier, you could create something like this very simply, and then click that button, and then boy, now your long form sales page opens up. So it would help, but you can do that. You can also do this too. Here's another cool thing as well. So you can manage a section here, and we're going to just trash that order form. Okay, right here, and then we can come to pop-up, show pop-up, but because this is an order form, you can actually, this is really cool, you can actually put your order form, okay, put your two-step order form, put it right here on your pop-up, okay, and then you save that, okay, and then you close this, and then this on here, you're just going to tell it to open the pop-up, okay, so now what you can do is you can preview this like this, and then when you click on this, it'll open up. It'll open your pop-up and they can pay for it right there. So a couple of pretty cool things if you build it on an order form. Okay. You had a second question. Your second question was also, can you explain what the whole SendGrid, Zapier, Zoho, and other email services are? How do they tie together? Do we need them all? What are the ones we really need? Okay. So SOP, do you have an autoresponder or not?
I created a MailChimp account, and I don't know what an autoresponder is right now.
Okay, so I've done 2 trainings on this. So I'd encourage you to go back and look at the 2 trainings that I did on it. It'll go a lot more in depth than what I'm going to go right now. But let me just show you the basic stuff. So on your integrations, on your SMTP integrations, here's the ones that you can integrate with ClickFunnels itself. This is if you don't want to have an autoresponder. If you want ClickFunnels to be your autoresponder, you have to have a program like SendGrid or Mandrill or Amazon SES or Send13 or SparkPost or something. You have to be able to have that if ClickFunnels is going to be your autoresponder. Okay, so SendGrid, it's $9 a month. I have it, $9 to $12 a month. And this gives ClickFunnels the power to become its own autoresponder. So I'll show you the sample. So if you come here and you have a funnel, okay, let's find a webinar funnel, okay, just so I can show you. So let's take Todd's funnel, okay. Oops, it's not the webinar. So I'll take Todd's webinar funnel that we just built for him. And I'll take the broken one since I know there's a broke. So if I screw it up, I won't be upset at myself. Okay. So if I come here and I hit the automation button. So remember, if I have SendGrid and I've integrated with ClickFunnels, now ClickFunnels is an autoresponder. Okay. And so then I can go to the automation page and I can put all of his emails. Like, so I can say everyone who registers, I want them to get this series of emails. Okay. And those who missed the webinar, I want them to get this series of emails. Okay. Then if you go to like the webinar confirmation, same thing, everybody that missed. Now you can go, like if you go to like if you go to other pages, okay, let me just show you. You can actually get it to, so if you go to live one, you can actually get it to, where am I missing here? Is it order form? Maybe, oh shoot. I'm trying to show you that it'll give you 5 different types of emails that you can send. with SendGrid. Okay, so what you would do is when you integrate that with SendGrid, I'll show you how to turn all this on now. Okay, so if you go to back to the webinar, you go to automation. Get a webinar confirmation. Is it automation? Oh, I need a broadcaster. That's why. One moment.
I already did the SMTP, and I already can send this autoresponder. I think I haven't tried it, but I set it up, from the last class and all that. The domain name I got with funnels. I think I tried to set it up with Zoho, but then it's so many things. It's like too many.
So yeah, so here's let me finish this thought and then I'll go back and answer that one. So like on your order form, it'll let you segment from everyone who saw but didn't purchase and everyone who purchased. Okay, so it'll let you segment. So it's got some okay options. ClickFunnels has some okay options built right here into the system that you can use. So if you got this integrated with SendGrid or any of those other ones, you can use this as that. Now let me just speak to something that a lot of people get themselves in trouble with. Okay, you can get yourself so confused with Zapier and with Zoho and with all those other third-party things. Because if you were to come here and go to your settings, if you were to come here and go to your settings, what you find out is you can sort of look at all these Zapiers that you can do. So what happens is, so you can send Gmails, you can send MailChimp, you can send notifications for new content. You can do anything with, you can send them to Slack or whatever. You can do all this stuff with Zapier. What I would tell you is this is actually a pretty good app, but be careful because, it'll just confuse the heck out of you. And what's so crazy is this is only a few things that Zapier does. Okay, you can go on the website and find 300 other things. But when you start getting into like webhooks and Zoho and all that other stuff, you're just asking for a world of trouble because you're just going to complicate the system. When Russell created ClickFunnels, he designed ClickFunnels to be incredibly simple. Okay, he wanted to be so simple that anyone could use it, and it didn't take a rocket scientist. And what happens is very complex people, because we like to be complex, we try to go in there and we try to complicate the system, and we try to get it to do something that it's not really designed to do. One, because we think it's cool. Two, because we think it's going to help us. And what we find out is we end up with broken funnels as opposed to operational funnels. So what I would encourage you is just be really, really simple. Okay, if you want to use ClickFunnels as your autoresponder, go for it. Just connect it with the $12 program called SendGrid, and that's all you need. You'd have to convince me what you can do with Zapier. Now, if you have MailChimp, what you're going to need Zapier, right? Because you're going to integrate it, and you want every time somebody registers for the webinar, you want them to put the contact in ClickFunnels, and you want it to zap over to a contact in MailChimp. So you're going to have to use Zapier for that, or Zapier, however you say it. So I just would tell you, just be really simple. I don't use any of that stuff. Just because, I know how to use it. It's just, once I got into it and realized that there's a reason why it's a third-party app. The reason why it's a third-party app is because ClickFunnels isn't designed to do it natively. So you have to have a third-party app to make it do something that it's not designed to do. And I just think ClickFunnels is buggy enough on its own. When you start adding all these other things to it, I just think you're sort of asking for trouble. So that's just my opinion. You asked how do they tie together? They all tie together through a basic, simple integration. Okay, right here in the account, you can integrate everything right here. Okay, right on this little integration tab right here. Anything that you need to integrate, you can integrate right here. And then you speak to them and you tell them what to do. But once again, way too complicated for my liking. Do you need them all? No, I don't think you need any of them. I just think you need SendGrid. It's all you need.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Stripe, do we have to pay a fee to Stripe, or will there be a deduction when you have payments through Stripe integrated? Yeah,
so when you integrate Stripe, okay, so if you were to come in here and you were to integrate Stripe is absolutely free. It doesn't cost you anything, okay? It's a free program. Where they get their money is on every transaction, okay? On every transaction that you have, they will take a percentage of the sale, and I think it's 2.9% is what it is. So if you have $100, they're going to take $2.90 for that $100 transaction, and that's how they make the money. But because of that, Stripe is free.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Tracy wants to know, can I add someone else's Stripe account? Yeah, so in fact, my screen is open right here. You'll see that I have Laser Church. This is one of my clients right here. Okay, and that's my default Stripe account. Okay, and then I have Radius Impact, I have Catapult Crew, and I have Relentless Success. So Relentless Success and Laser Church are two of my clients that they're like my partners. I do everything for them. And so because of that, I've got them right into my ClickFunnels account, and I have them integrated in my Stripe account. So you can have up to 5 Stripe accounts. It says you're currently using 3 of 3, but I happen to know that you can use more than that. And if you call support, you can even use more than that. Okay. But you can use that, but you have to have the $297 account for that. The $97 account, you can only have 1 account. Okay.
Hey, Chad, with SendGrid, can you have more than 1 account with that? Like, so you can use it for more than 1 client, or do you have each client have their own?
That's a good question. I've always had every client get their own, so I don't know the answer to that, but I bet you could go to sendgrid.com and find out. But I don't know. I'm assuming that's just one and done. Is my assumption?
You can.
Oh, you can?
You can have more than 1 SendGrid on an account.
Okay, well look at that. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Thanks, Dave.
I've got 2 on mine.
Okay, and they come from different people?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Dave, you said if you have a sales page that offers 4 different choices, is it possible to tailor a one-time offer for each option in a single funnel? Yes, you can. What you would do is, let's take one I'm not going to screw up. So let's take your Design Academy, and let's say that we're going to add an opt-in form right here, okay? And let's say I'm going to add one, not opt-in, but I want OTO. OTO 1, so I'm going to create a funnel step. And then there's all different kinds of ways you can do this. I'll show you a quick and easy way. Okay, so let's say one upsell. So let's say this is your upsell right here. And then I'm going to do that one more time. I'll do 2, but the premise is the same for all of them, okay? So you come here to the OTL 2, and then okay, so I have my 2 one-time offers, okay? And then let's say up here on my sales page, okay. Oh, wait a second. Let me hold on a second, Dave. So you're saying, so one-time offer, they're going to have bought something, right? And then you're going to upsell them after they bought something?
Yeah, it's basically they can choose from 4 platforms, and which platform they choose to buy the initial service for then determines what upsell we sell them. Yeah,
so this is really complicated, but what you would do is on your sales page, okay, let's just see if I can grab one that's easy. On your sales page, we'll just take this one. Okay, what you would do is you could come here and you could like give it 4 rows. Okay, and you could give it a button.
Yeah.
This is complicated. Now there's some CSS code that will let you do this much easier. But if you're gonna, and Jamie Smith has got a code for it. But if you don't want to use CSS, this is the workaround. Okay, so you have product A, product B, product C, product D. Okay, You're gonna save that. And then what you're going to do is you're going to come here. You're going to create 4 order forms and 4 OTOs. Okay. So what you would do is you would create 4 order forms, 4 OTOs, and then you would have it just like this. Okay. Now pretend I did this 4 times. I can go to this order form right here. Okay. And let's say we selected this one. I'm going to take this URL right here. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go to my sales page, and I'm going to attach it to the appropriate button.
Okay, so that's what I've done so far.
Yeah.
It was just getting the link in the one-time offer and then making sure they all come back to the sort of thank you page.
Yeah, no, there's a code for that. Jamie Smith, it's $67 a month, but there is a code for it that he created for that exact thing. Okay. So like when I go here and preview this, as you know, when I click on this button right here, it'll take me right to that order form. Oh, of course I screwed it up. I must have screwed the thing up, but you understand the idea, right?
Yeah.
So you'll go order form OTO, order form OTO, order form OTO. Now on the OTO, you got to when they submit it, okay, on the OTO, when you submit this, if you just hit the submit button, they're going to go like if you have 4 order forms, order 1 TO, order 1 TO, order OTO 1 4 times. If you're on this OTO and you hit the submit button, it's just going to take you to the next order form because it's going to go to the next funnel. So you got to take this URL on the order confirmation page, okay, and you got to put you have to do a redirect. So I'm sorry. So you take this order confirmation here. Come on.
Yeah.
And you'll.
Okay.
Well, I'm just to show it so those folks who aren't familiar with it. You take this right here, and then on this OTO page right here, when they have a button to buy it, like right here, okay, the yes link for their OTO, right here, it's going to go to the yes link. So what you have to do is you have to go to the settings button, and you have to go to the general tab, and you have to go on submit, go to. And then you put that URL right there, okay? Okay, so now what's going to happen is when I'm on this page right here, so when I preview it and I click this button, instead of going to the next page in the funnel, it'll redirect itself and take you to the end. Now my card got declined, but you understand, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay?
Perfect, thank you.
All right, can I add somebody else's Stripe account? Tracy, you can add someone else's Stripe account. You can add multiple Stripes on your ClickFunnels account if you have the 297 plan. If you only have the 97 plan, you can only add 1 account at a time. You may be able to beg with support, and they may be able to help you otherwise. But that's right now. That's the game plan. Anything else I can help you guys with? I got a couple minutes if you need me. Thank you, Kendra. I appreciate that, darling. No, I love these kinds of things. I do love them. So just so you know, I put together a 24-part ClickFunnels 101 that I'm working on right now. And we're hoping when we roll out the new Design Academy right after the first of the year, I'm hoping that whole training program is done. And so I've been trying to take things that you guys have been asking and questions that I have, and I put together a 24-part training that people can come in and they can just take one training at a time, and it's going to be really, really like you just bought ClickFunnels and it's fresh out of the box. Like what are the things? What do you have to do? And it's going to take them through a pretty thorough thing. So pretty excited about that. I'm going to call it CF 101. So pretty good stuff. So. All right, guys. God bless you guys. Have fun. Enjoy your day. And looking forward to getting more updates from you. I'm looking forward to getting more updates from you on your project. So let me know how they go, okay?
Cool.
Right,
thanks, Chad.
God bless. Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Yeah.